Ayo, LAZ, shout out to the bro Agallah, rap hip hop legend out of Brooklyn. Shout out to the whole Brownsville, Brooklyn, the whole Brownsville houses. You heard if you from Brownsville houses, get in them comments, let me know you out there. If you from the Ville, let me know what projects you from, Yersk. If you from BK, let me know what block, what Ave, what street, what strip, what boulevard you rapping. And that's a whole factory rebate. You heard? Z-Man Suicide Polo with the ski man running around the hood like He-Man at 3 a.m. with 3 swams looking for a dude that ran off with 3 grams. No, I ain't like these other dudes, you heard? My interviews, when I'm getting these interviews, I'm in the sewers and the sludge and the gutters and the bowels of the city getting these interviews, you heard? Ain't nothing pretty over here. This is hood television. And that's a whole fact. If you love what I'm doing on this channel, feel free to send me a Cash App donation. $ Gen Pop fan. You already snow closure. Hit me up on Instagram at Real Saint Last for that business. Yours.
A lot of issues, a lot of fights, a lot of disagreements in the household that led to me, running away one day. And then I got picked up by the state troopers upstate New York. They put me in a foster home. The foster home wound up me leading to go to a group home because I was a PINS, person in need of supervision. So I got caught up in the system when I wasn't supposed to. I used to see Mike Tyson on the corner of Rockaway and Blake. My uncle, and my godfather, they used to be running up and out of the laundromat hustling next to the pizzeria that was there. So, Tyson, I used to see him different places, like wilding. Like, this was when we was young, and he would be like, one day I'm in the store with my aunt. This is just one occasion. I'm in the store with my aunt. She take me to the store by Amboy, by Bessie Head Park. Not the pool, Bessie Head Park. Before you get to Amboy, across the street from Redirection was a store on the corner. And, I'm little. And, Mike, I knew it was real because Mike came up in there and basically terrorized, the owners, how we had to get it, what I'm saying? Mike was, I never thought that he would be heavyweight champion of the world doing this, what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't know he had skills on the hands. I just knew him as a dude that was out there wilding. So, I would see Mike, he had love for me, and then eventually I found out he was a boxer.
Part self though. Part self. What you mean terrorize the owners though? And this is while he was a boxer, or you talking about before he was a boxer?
Before he was a boxer, he was, he was out there doing a lot of, he was out there getting it in, He was out there basically, being a juvenile delinquent. You know what I'm saying? Just running through Brownsville wherever he can eat, whatever he can eat off. So I witnessed that. From Mike. And in them days, Brownsville was a real bad place. You know what I'm saying? It was like a lot of people was poor. So, to witness him come from that, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be a hero to us, you know what I'm saying? Because Brownsville, we never thought that people could make it out welfare, the life expectancy of living in Brownsville is you don't live past 21. And that was in my day. I don't know about today in this era, but in my day, you know what I mean? And I'm 49 years old, so I understand like how Brownsville was all about, a warrior mentality to survive that, you know what I mean? And I'm Puerto Rican, you know what I mean? You ain't got a lot of Puerto Ricans in Brownsville. But, you know what I mean? Like, just to give you a picture of what Mike was doing at that time, it was a lot of either you get eating or you do the eating, you know what I mean? And Mike was doing the eating, you know what I mean, however he could. But even when Mike won the championship, you know, I remember one moment when he came back to the block, we all in front of C-Town, and we on Rockaway, and Mike, you know, shows off his belt that he just won, and everybody, like, you know, they happy for him, but halfway happy for him. Like, hold up, Mike, you know, we all broke out here. We can't eat off that belt. You know what I'm saying? And you know, one of the big homies pulled Mike to the side and was like, yo, Mike, man, like, yo, man, you know what I mean? We got to eat out here, you know what I mean? What we going to do, you know what I mean? Whoop, whoop, whoop. They put a move together. And, yeah, all I know is the delivery dude got jacked for like 5 racks. Somehow, yeah, Mike grabbed the money, and Mike threw the money up in the sky, like, and everybody grabbed $100 bills, $50 bills, $20 bills. This on Rockaway. This is you can ask Elo from on Rockaway side in Brownsville. He was there, you know what I mean? We was all young, but true facts, Belmont Avenue, you know, that's where you go to Simon's to go shop. I grabbed 300 of them dollars that flew up and went and got me a fit, on God. No lie. Like, I was the happiest 15-year-old kid in Brownsville that day, you know what I mean? Because Mike did that, you know what I mean? And we was all hurting, you know what I mean? You know, it was just a good look for us to come up over that, because we was all fucked up. And the reality set in to Mike, I think, you know what I mean? That, yo, you know, we know you a champion of the world, all that, but we out here hungry. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna get it in with us still? Like, this is where you from, Mike. You know what I mean? You can't leave your people hurting. You know what I mean? And I guess I think that made Mike work harder, because after that he started beating up everybody, getting all the belts, and then coming back to Brownsville, giving us turkeys, you know what I mean, on Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? I was there when Mike started giving out turkeys. I was one of the first ones that got a turkey, you know what I mean? We from Lakeside. As you know, he came all over the hood when he first started giving out turkeys, you know what I mean? And you know, I think that made Mike work harder, you know what I mean? The reality of where you from, man, you know?
Then eventually you eventually get to a level of understanding when you realize, you know, your ass will go to jail. Your ass will go to jail and lose all your dreams and all your hopes if you try to please everybody and take care of everybody. And sometimes that should bring you down.
And you know, I felt like that was Mike's downfall as well as a boxer, because he looked out for a lot of people that didn't look out for him. And, you know, I think he got easily manipulated after Customato died and started switching coaches, but that's another story. But, you know, because I love boxing a lot. So I look at Mike, though, beyond the boxing, Mike, I look at Mike as a hero, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he's my inspiration, I feel, when you coming out of Brownsville, even for all of us, even Shannon Briggs, you know what I mean, another heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? We produce a lot of great people out of our hood. I just don't think we get the credit that we truly deserve in sports or in hip-hop, you know? And I'm here to change that dynamic, you know what I mean? I'm here to change that dynamic because, you know, I feel like my history is tied up with these legends in a major way, being that we all from Brownsville. We got Bruce Carrington now, you know what I mean? He's a champion, you know what I'm saying? You know, in hip-hop, you know what I mean? We definitely, you know, gave hip-hop a lot, you know, and you know, in all elements. So I just feel like, you know, with Mike, you know, Mike made Brownsville special as well as an artist, the hip hop artists, our whole culture of Brownsville, you know, is just it's in a class by itself.
Now, you know, I got stories on this channel about growing up in Brownsville. I talked about getting jumped. I talked about getting robbed. I talked about all the type of shit a Brownsville dude go through growing up in Brownsville, man. But I mean, how was it for you growing up in Brownsville? Like, I mean, like as far as you was born there, you moved there. Like, when did you realize that Brownsville was out of control?
It's on my birth certificate. Word is bond.
You was born where?
Kings County Hospital. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I grew up in Brownsville. That's where, you know what I mean? Like, I went to PS 284. That's my first public school ever. You know what I mean? So, I'm you know what I mean? Like, as far as my origins, yeah, it's Brownsville. But I did move around a lot. You know what I'm saying? Overall, I still have family in the Ville. You know what I mean? 334 Blake. You know, Blake side. You know what I'm saying? That's where, you know, I'm born and raised. You know, I grew up around the corner from Sean Price. You know, and, you know, a lot of characters, you know what I'm saying? Had to survive in a major way as far as a young dude trying to, you know, survive in a tough neighborhood. You know what I mean? It made me tough. It made me have tough skin. You know, a lot of murders was going on when I was growing up, a lot of shootings, young dudes holding pistols. Rest in peace to my man Tango from Osborne. He, you know, we used to run around crazy as, you know, just trying to, you know, survive in the neighborhood amongst these other little dangerous dudes that was out there, you know, and shooters was just, you know, being a shooter, you could be, you know, 11, 12, you know what I mean? Like, get your hands on a pistol, you're gonna feel like a grown man, you know what I mean? That's how I was in Brownsville, you know? I know a lot of my friends that, you know, not here no more today because they adapted to that hood life so early, you know what I'm saying? And that's what made their demise. And I just, you know, I was just tired of that. My man shot himself in the window because he didn't know how to aim the gun right. You know what I mean? He wanted to shoot out the window. Rest in peace, Tango. And I knew from there, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just was a reality for me to see that happen to my homies that young. And even more so, you know, when you live in Brownsville, you hear a lot of shots at night. You know what I mean? You can't really sleep, or have a comfortable sleep. There ain't no such thing as a comfortable sleep in Brownsville. You hear a lot of popping off at late night, especially in the summer on the chain courts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dudes would be a lot of beef, especially back in my era. You know, you had children. They were throwing a lot of jams. So we used to, like, run around the Ville, you know what I mean? That was our thing. You know what I mean? Going project to project, you know, seeing what it is, you know what I mean? And you know, understand society as a young man, but still you dealing with, you know, a lot of murder around you, drugs around you, you know what I'm saying? People snaking, you know, family members, you know what I mean? Arguing in the projects, police running up in your crib, you know what I mean? Shit like that, you know? It's just, you know, just a lot of trauma, you know, you open yourself to when you living in Brownsville, you know what I mean?
It's a whole fact now, bro. You know, I'm not trying to cause controversy or anything like that, but what you were saying about Tango, you know, it was a lot of different theories on how son died. Some people say he was shot with an AK-47 from the street. Some people say, you know, I've heard a lot of things, but how did you hear that version that he shot himself by mistake?
Well, that comes from, you know, people that I know from the block, you know what I mean? People that I know, like, since we was little, you know what I mean? That's what, you know, was told to me by friends, you know what I'm saying, that we all grew up with. What I remember, yeah, that he shot himself by mistake, you know what I'm saying? and he aimed the gun out the window and it ricocheted and hit him. That's what was told to me. I don't know how true it is because I wasn't there, but you know what I mean? I ain't never heard nothing different. So, you know, that's the last information that I ever heard as far as, you know what I mean, him passing away.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Tango, though. Son was a super basketball star in the Ville. You feel what I'm saying? And son used to come through Howard and shit. I used to see son when he came through Howard. He used to come through Howard, my projects, and ball out. You feel me? When the tournaments was going on, all for one and all of that. You heard? Shout out to the whole Brownsville, everybody that played in the all for one tournament. Shout out to the Brownsville Hornets. Dink. You feel what I'm saying?
Dinky, yeah, I played for Dinky. You know what I mean? That was my first coach. You know what I'm saying? He was the only person that really actually cared about athleticism in Brownsville with the youth, and used to always grab anybody they seen playing basketball or baseball or softball, snatch them up, you know what I mean, and get them in the programs. I was in a few programs. I played for him for 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
my cousin Jamel from your projects. My cousin Jamel used to play with Dink.
Yeah, me and Mel know. Yeah, Mel know me. Mel from Langston. You talking about that Mel?
Nah, not Mel Cox. Nah, I'm talking about Jamel. Jamel used to live in Brownsville houses. My cousin.
Oh, Jamel. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you know he used to be with Hector and Udi and them niggas and Freddie when they used to be playing baseball in the middle of your P's. That shit was like the motherfucking major leagues out there. Niggas was so serious with that baseball out there.
Oh yeah, facts.
But yeah, my cousin Jamel used to.
My man Donald, man. They killed my man Donald. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a baseball fanatic. You know what I mean? Brownsville, everybody knew who Donald was. You know what I mean? Donald, he was from 336 Blake. You know what I'm saying? Donald got killed by the police by mistake. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean by mistake?
He was all over the news too.
What you mean by mistake? They shot him by mistake trying to shoot somebody else?
They had a mistaken identity and shot him in the store over there by 14 Brothers.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know how to clipping, but it's definitely out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, growing up, man, I you know, in the Ville, you know, I witnessed a lot of craziness, man, just a lot of craziness. You know what I mean? So I feel like when I rap, even to this day, I still got a lot of things that I want to explain about my neighborhood without hurting anybody else's feelings, knowing that I'm still dealing with my own trauma. You know what I mean? Shit that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real. And you know, I'm trying to put out this documentary soon. You know what I mean? So hopefully a lot of people really get, you know, the whole story of my experience, my journey. You know what I mean? Not just as a musician, but somebody growing up in a crazy environment. You know what I mean? And those stories really, really inspire people. You know what I mean? When they realize what you faced with. You know what I mean? And what you was faced with, and what made you who you are. You know what I mean? In the future. So it is what it is.
Yeah, bro. I remember that time. This shit is some funny shit that I always think about. I remember that time we was doing a video with the bro Saros from London and the bro Dre from London, and we was in the fucking Ville. And you know, me and you know what time it is with the Ville, but Dre and Saros, they not really familiar with Brownsville. And the nigga Saros had on a big ass chain, and he wanted to film his scene outside right there on Rockaway in Livonia. And that shit was mad funny because you was giving me the look like, son, put this nigga on to where we at, son. You heard? And I had to pull son to the side.
Yeah, man, it's, you know, like, you know, I lost a lot of family out there, put it like that. You know, a lot of my aunt and Howard, rest in peace. You know, homies, you know what I mean? Chuchi Mont. You know, people like that, you know what I mean? From Dumont side, and you know, people I know that, you know, that are from my era ain't no longer there or no longer living. And you know, some people surviving, you know what I mean? Some of my dudes are still there, you know what I mean? But as time goes by, you know, we, you know, like I was, you know, watching one of your posts about, you know, New York City Housing Authority, how people are going to be 70 living in the projects and not owning it, and, you know, having nowhere to go because of the rent increases and all that. You know, you think about, oh, this system is so twisted, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even, I'm just grateful to Allah that you know what I mean? I ain't paralyzed or shot, you know what I'm saying? Or dealing with, you know what I mean, AIDS or some sickness. Because that's all the Ville was really doing to people, you know what I mean? Like, really just, you know what I mean? Back in the days, like, you know, you know, I remember, like, you know, people on lines for cheese going in the basement, in the compartment under the projects, you know what I mean? Going for lines of powdered milk and cheese, you know what I mean? From the government. I just felt like that.
My niggas lined up at the ramp.
It was like they was good. It was like rat poison. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna feed food out of the basements where you put rat poison at? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I look back on that I didn't realize, you know what I mean, at that time. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll never try to resort to those memes, you know what I'm saying, to survive ever. But it is what it is. It makes you tougher, you know what I mean? I don't look at the projects as a downfall anymore. I look at it as a survival state. Can you survive this? Feel me?
Straight up. Shit is a whole different world in some of them projects.
Yeah, it's different strokes everywhere, man. It's like, you know, projects is all over the world. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you were showing on the Chinese dudes. I thought I had it bad. They live, man.
Yeah. That's their projects.
But like, where the room at though? Like, everybody, is that your room? That one little square?
I don't know, man. I heard that shit was the most crowded and congested building in the world.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just grateful sometimes, you know, I mean, even though it might be hard for some people in America, you gotta look at these other people living around the world and say, yo, I'm grateful, you know? I ain't living like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, in Haiti right now. They illing in Haiti right now.
Oh, that shit crazy. They going to war.
Oh, my God. There's bananas out there. So I'm like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I just hope that people understand, man, they need to be grateful for what they have. If they don't have a lot, you know, look around you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Look around you, you know what I mean? And just keep focused on what you need to be doing in life. You know what I mean? Don't let your state at the present moment get you, you know what I mean? Get you depressed, put you in a down state. You got to utilize that energy and then put that in a positive mindset and keep going. Because, man, I ain't never thought I'd make it out the Ville. Some days I thought that it was over for me. You know what I mean? I got shot at. You know what I mean? I got robbed. You know what I mean? In the Ville. You know what I mean? On Sackman and Powell, going to see a girl one time. You know what I'm saying? And I got caught slipping. I got shot at. At the end of the day, I made it out of that. You know what I mean? I ain't no tough guy, but I've been through tough times. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, everybody get their moment. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It happens to the best of us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get their moment. But now I know, you know, it made me move differently. You know what I'm saying? Things in Brownsville ain't you know, when I go through, I just been there, you know what I mean, to lay some flowers for my deceased aunt and Howard. And, you know, just the feeling that I get now, it ain't getting no better there. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just trying to be the spokesman for my life that survived it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully people, you know what I mean, other people, get the message and take that and move further in their life and, take it as a lesson, and I can teach them, and, we can continue living our lives, on a focused path.
What was your aunt's name from Howard?
My aunt's name was Vilma Molina. Vilma. Vilma Molina. Yeah.
I wonder if I know her. If she's from Howard, most likely I know her. I just don't
She
remember
got
right now.
well, they say she committed suicide, but I doubt my aunt would just jump out the window and kill herself like that. But she did have schizophrenia, so there is a half and half situation that she wasn't right mentally. But you know what I mean? Yeah, it was. We've been through a lot of trauma growing up. Brooklyn. People, look at Brooklyn and don't understand the part of Brownsville that we from, because it's hell. You know what I mean? Really, if you poor, you growing up in hell. We did not grow up rich. We did not grow up like, we didn't grow up with the silver spoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather worked for New York City Housing Authority. He worked the compactors. That's how, he supported his family, you know what I'm saying? And my grandmother just cooked in the pot, made sure everybody had their clothes clean for school, old school. And everybody went to school and got their education. My aunts went to, the Army. Me, I made it to 10th grade, you know what I'm saying? After that, I dropped out, got a deal a year later after leaving the group home. So, I just feel like, everything right timing for everybody, you know what I mean? You follow your heart, you follow your destiny, that's where it's going to lead you, you know what I'm saying?
How you ended up in the group home?
Well, that's a long story. Like me, my, I had turned like 15, and my mom's invited me to live with her. She was trying to raise me, and she had a boyfriend, and me and him had issues, a lot of fights, a lot of disagreements in the household that led to me, running away one day. And then I got picked up by the state troopers upstate New York. They put me in a foster home. The foster home wound up me leaving to go to a group home because I was a PINS, person in need of supervision. So I got caught up in the system when I wasn't supposed to, really, because I had family that got custody of me, but they was lazy. They didn't want to fill out the paperwork, so I had to deal with a year of being upstate. I guess it was good for me because, I needed to, get used to, being a man. And that was just the beginning of realizing, ain't nobody gonna be there for you at the end of the day. You need to figure out a way out. You know what I mean? So, went to see the judge. They let me out. It was like 18. You can go. You got. My grandfather. Thank God he pulled up and got me out, and I couldn't come to New York no more. So I was in Jersey City for like 2 years, but the PATH train was right there, so I used to go to New York anyway. Like, fuck that, I need to go to NY. So I would go to Washington Square Park, battle everybody, and then meet a lot of other rappers, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. We started getting cool, became friends. I met a lot of other rappers. I've been to rappers in New York, but it was like, you know what I mean? It was like I was back older, still nice on the mic, and then came back to Brooklyn like ready to battle anybody, whoever. You know what I mean? So I was going to mad clubs. That's how I got my deal on Tommy Boy Records. You know what I mean? I just kept going out, grabbing the mic with DJs, going to home base. We would go to the Tunnel. We would go to Two Eyes. We would go to Nels. I would go to I would go to I would just go on the West Side Essos. We would go everywhere, you know what I mean? Anywhere that he wanted to have artists rock, you know what I mean? Lyricist Lounge. Boom. There you go. So I met them Lyricist Lounge cats. They invited me to their spot. And then next thing you know, I started getting my name out there with Lyricist Lounge a lot more because they had a facility in the village. So everybody would come there. Biggie would come there. Master Ace would come there. You had everybody that Redman, everybody that was, popping in the early 90s would go over there to get their rhymes off, and it became a staple, open mic staple. So from there, like I said, I started getting noticed more. Next thing you know, Tommy Boy Records hit me up. They heard my demo, and they said they wanted to give me a deal for $200,000 at the time. You know what I mean? That was in '95, so it's a lot of money. And I just basically, at that time, kind of did what they told me because I didn't know what was going on. I had a manager, but they didn't even know how to approach the situation because the offer was so high, but we didn't have a plan for them. And then basically I wound up getting released a year later and then getting signed to East West and putting out Ghetto Girl. And then started working with Onyx before I got the deal. So that's when I did Last Days. I was producing now. So I was producing for a lot of other acts. Busta Rhymes.
You officially did the beat for Last Days for Onyx?
Yeah, me, Fredro, and Sticky, we all did the whole album together. I did that beat with Fred together. We all did it together. But I laid the foundation there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I put the samples together, the drums together, because it was his record. But I had the mind of knowing how to flip shit. They didn't have that. So I was there to put together their second album the way they wanted it. You know what I mean? Because they wanted a certain sound, so I had that. I had the idea they wanted. As a producer, you're supposed to tailor make what the artist wants. So I did what they wanted. Got my money. I'm on, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, me and Fred had disagreement. After that, we fell out because he was supposed to be managing me, but we ain't had no paperwork. So kind of like he fooled himself thinking that he was gonna be my manager and didn't have no paperwork with me, stating that he was gonna, get me certain placements. Cause we got introduced by a homie named Greg. My homie Greg used to cut hair with them at New Tribe on Jamaica Avenue. So he comes to me like, yo, I think you should be rocking with Onyx. I didn't know who they was. You understand what I'm saying? Like, my man knew them because he cut hair with them, but he came to me because after he heard my music was like, you need to be working with these cats, fam. I'm going to hook you up with them. I was like, all right, what it is, what it is. You going to meet dudes in the hallway, whatever. And I wound up getting in the studio with them. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, they got me rolling with them. So now I'm going all over the world with these dudes. Now they got me opening up with the NPC on the live shows. So I did a lot of tracks with them. You know what I mean? I definitely did a lot of music with them, but we fell out on a personal vibe, which led them to leave the history out until recently when Fred jumped on some interview and said that I did have something to do with the album in Last Days. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know that.
For the people who don't know, like, right quick, get them a few major joints that you produce. I know you did that Purple City Bird Gang joint. You did that by yourself, or y'all did that as a collab?
I did that by myself, yeah. Facts. That's me. I did that. I did Class of '87 with Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, KRS-One on Tony Touch album. I did like 4 joints on Tony Touch album. I did the last 2 EP&D albums. I did Dungeon Master, and I did Check 1 2, and I also did You Got Shot, which I'm rhyming on the last 2 EP&D albums. I did Things That We Do for Money featuring Anthony Hamilton and Rampage on Buster's Double Platinum When Disaster Strikes. Also did me and Sean Price, Rising to the Top. I mean, the list goes on. I got records with you, that's bangers, mad bangers with you. Yeah, also Daz Effects albums. Yeah, and more or less, man. Other records that you can find on a lot of the last Group Home album, the last Gangstar album, and I'm on some upcoming albums too. The new Diamond D album, Cool Keith's album that's out right now. So we doing legendary shit, and we still out there doing rocking with the young cats too. You know what I mean? We could do it all. All genres. My new album dropped 4/20, so I'll send you the cover for that. You know what I mean?
What's that new album called?
It's called the KO 2 tape, the Knockout 2 tape.
And you did all your own beats?
Yeah, it's all produced by me. All produced with Teenage Engineering Gear. You know what I mean? It's a new company that they've been out for like 10 years, but they make beat machines, synth keyboards, samplers. You know what I mean? It's the next level. You know what I mean? They got the smallest mixer out, so I don't have to like be in the studio no more. I could just pack my bag with this, with their stuff and record anywhere I need to record. You know what I mean? If I'm traveling, I can set up. You know what I mean? With their mic, their equipment. Without a computer, I could get the songs done. You know what I mean? Features done, verses done, all that.
That's a fact. I'm gonna knock that 16 out, that joint. I got it in the email, but I ain't check it yet. But I'm definitely on it.
Oh yeah, say less. You already know it's fire. We here though, man. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that you had the time though today for this.
Yeah, bro. And anytime, man. Anytime you got a story. Man, but once again, bro, appreciate having you up on here. You a motherfucking legend and a musical genius with this hip-hop shit. And I'm telling you that now, because, nigga, you know what I mean? I'm letting it be known. I've been calling you that, though, my nigga. You know what I mean? I done seen you in action. We talking straight hip-hop shit. I done seen you in action 30 times. Come to the studio with you. You start a whole fucking beat from scratch, have a verse and a hook made, ready to go in 20 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? I done seen it with my own 2 eyes. A lot of niggas, they not hip hop like that. They can't just put it together like that. It take them weeks and weeks and months to get some shit together. Niggas like us, we done been in studio, nigga send that beat, nigga. That shit slaughtered in a couple of hours. That shit mixed, mastered, ready to go.
Nah, that's a factory. That's a factory. We ahead of our, we ahead of our time with this shit, man. You know what I mean? It's just a known fact, you know what I mean? And people know, you know what I mean? I just, I'm just like right back, not on the history, but right back on, where I feel like lyrically, a lot of people, know that I've been nice with this, you know what I mean? I don't, expect nothing less for them to expect nothing but greater from me, you know what I mean? Because they already know. I just got to keep delivering, and that's where I'm at right now with it. You know what I mean? Next album on deck.